Welcome viewer, explorers of the past and seekers of untold stories, to History Unrevealed. Sloppy waters of sand crescendo the bagni and Tuscany most likely aren't the primary spot you'd need to visit during an outing to sunkissed Italy. However, when pieces of bronze sculptures rose to the surface during an archaeological dig, specialists understood that they were seeing something novel. Archaeologists are astonished after old sculptures rise up out of the mud. This sculpture, which goes 2 or 3 1,000 years to the hour of the Etruscans and the Romans, was revealed toward the beginning of October 2022. As we find out increasingly more about the world's far-off past with disclosures like this, our reasoning is continually being changed. The group exploring the district is driven by Teacher Jacopo to Bali, a specialist on the old Etruscans and their set of experiences from the College for Outsiders in Siena. He's been working close by Italy's Service of Culture, headed up by Broad San Giuliano, in addition to the focal foundation of rebuilding in the city of Grechetto in focal Tuscany, among others. San Casciano dei Bagni is a ridge cooperative in Siena territory, Siena being its capital city. The spot made its name hundreds of years prior through a characteristic component, which pulled an extraordinary interest from the mightiest civic establishments. There's something in the water you see, explicitly the hot kind. Well known for its warm spring water, sand pad de bagni turned into the ideal spot to introduce warm showers. These spas of sand pad de bagni have attracted archaeologists to dig underneath the surface and see what the progression of time has stowed away. The 2022 disclosure has brought to mind a sensational exhuming from 1972, when sculptures of the honest heroes, likewise made of bronze, were tracked down in Calabria. However, this time, things are somewhat more energizing because of reasons we'll go into as our story advances. Specialists realized they were onto something when pieces of bronze showed up from the old entanglement. These protected pieces included body parts, though body parts from sculptures as depicted by Smithsonian Magazine. When the investigation was finished, the group had an exceptional 24 complete sculptures. The sculptures purportedly addressed divine beings, for example, Apollo, a sweeping god of old Greece, as well as Hajia, who exemplifies great well-being. You could try and think that cleanliness, sovereign cleanliness herself, played a hand in procedures. We'll go into the meaning of the group's finds and what cleanliness has to do with it in only a bit of spot. As we referenced, the sculptures come from a period of Etruscans and Romans. It was, as a matter of fact, a period of commotion. We consider Old Rome an all-vanquishing realm, which formed numerous parts of current culture we know today. For this situation, that was the Etruscan human advancement, which involved the focal point of Italy between the 8th and 3rd hundreds of years BCE. The Etruscans are related with the antagonist of, in culture, Iron Age inhabitants of Italy. However, at last it is hazy where they came from. By roughly 750 BCE, what we currently know is the Etruscan character was laid out. Bronze was worked with to make horse bits, which went inside the creatures' mouths. To them, the Etruscans sent earthenware and iron in addition to wind and consumables, for example, pine nuts. Things turned upward for the Etruscans. However, likewise with any achievement, there came difficulties. They had a slice of the pie, however different powers were ravenous for more. What's more, 540 BC came the clash of Eulalia in the Sardinian Ocean, where a genuine and Carthage needed to combine efforts against Greece. The tremendous Mediterranean district was looking progressively swarmed. The greatest fishes in the water were the Archaeologists, who figured out how to cause a harm to the Etruscan development from Sicily, and 474 BC and 384 BC, the Etruscans were gone after both adrift and on the coast. The last option date saw ports focused on and brought somewhere near workers of Dionysius I. These blows affected on exchange and consequently success that deteriorated. In the past, Rome wasn't viewed as a very remarkable danger to a genuine region. The Roman-Etruscan Wars are surely known about, however records of the period don't offer a lot, and there's no conclusive course of events. The Etruscan city of Veii, a simple 9 miles from Rome, was more than once gone after from 483 BC onwards. Somewhere else, fights were battled against Greece on the water. Quick forward to 437 BC, and war had erupted again among Veii and Rome. A legendary attack went on until 396, so all in all it was downset and matched to the Romans. In a more extensive setting, Etruscans were slowly tumbling to the powers of Rome. So you could accept the Etruscan and Roman societies were against one another in each sense. All things considered, not as per the bronze sculpture revelation made in San Casciano dei Bagni. The sculptures pulled out of the mud by Teacher Jacopo convey engravings. The combination of dialects exhibits to archaeologists that Romans and Etruscans seem to have made peace when it came to otherworldly issues. Romans are known to have covered many hints of a confidence in life when they dominated. What specialists found is that as opposed to being thrown away, the Etruscan pieces were inside a strict safe haven utilized by Romans. The construction was then lowered in the hot water in around the principal century promotion, as referenced by Teacher Jacopo to Reuters. The disclosure that when they weren't slicing and skewering each other for the sake of triumph, the different sides shared a request has been educational for specialists. Cited by Smithsonian Magazine, Teacher Jacopo expressed this revelation revamps the historical backdrop of old craftsmanship. He gathered here Etruscans and Romans implored into a single unit. Never before has such a significant corridor of bronze sculptures been revealed connecting with this period in Italy. This region is realized in history hunting circles for its earthenware sculptures. Bronze, then again, not really. Beside the impactful strict aspect to the sculptures and the reality they're made of bronze. After a significant stretch of time in the mud, you may be excused for imagining that any relic would weaken or fall to pieces as well. There are a huge amount of marble sculptures from old Greece that didn't take care of business in light of multiple factors. For sure, we began this article by referencing how bronze body parts arise during Teacher Jacopos unearthings. The response behind the subject of conservation lies in the sloppy nature of the warm waters. The mud kept the bronze from being presented to oxygen, fixing it away from the desolates of nature. Microorganisms couldn't frame so the arrogant could live on hundreds of years after the fact. However, it doesn't address every one of the inquiries specialists have with respect to why the sculptures are down there. With such a lot of time elapsing, no demonstrated response exists. They might be sculptures, however they appear to carry specialists eye to eye with a long dead feeling of design. Also extraordinary old craftsmanship. How did the Etruscans and Romans make these sculptures in any case? In antiquated times, Greeks and Romans went through around 1,000 years making sculptures from bronze. When broken down, it held a fluid state for longer than at first. Sculptures resembled packs that could be bolted along with each part produced using a sheet of bronze. Wooden pieces could be utilized now and again to shape the sculpture. Bronze sheets were put against a wooden slammed level. The entire strategy was called ferrule, cotton, or sledge-driven craftsmen's, then moved to the technique for lost wax projecting. With this old procedure, a wax rendition is created of the sculpture or piece being referred to. The intensity dissolves the wax yet safeguards and solidifies the mud. There are varieties to lost wax projecting, yet those are the essentials. The last time Italy saw such an eye-catching exhuming of old bronze was back in 1972. Specialists doesn't know who the 2-meter-high sculptures should address or how they came to be together in any case. At last, the specialists don't know yet the old sculptures seem to have been made in the Greek areas of Attica ver Argolis, made utilizing the lost wax strategy we recently depicted. They are not 100% bronze sources. Note that itemizing, for example, and, surprisingly, the areolas are copper. So since these astonishing bronze sculptures have found occurs straight away. As referenced in True Explanations, the sculptures went to a lab in Rosso, Tuscany for reclamation. Answering Fresh Insight about the revelation, Italy's administration has been fulsome in its commendation. Priest of culture liberal, and Giuliano depicted the outcome as an excellent find. Concerning the combination of Etruscan and Roman antiquities, he says the definition of various developments is one of a kind in Italian culture. At the core of this convincing story is the collaboration between two fighting gatherings, the Romans and the Etruscans. The sculptures might be made of bronze, yet for global interests, the disclosure is unadulterated gold. As we reach the final frames of today's video, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for joining us on this adventure. Your time and attention are truly appreciated. If you enjoyed what you saw, don't forget to show some love by liking, commenting, and subscribing. We're immensely grateful for your support. Until our next rendezvous, keep exploring, stay curious, and most importantly, thank you for watching.